everyone, it's Erin, and tonight I'm going to be doing a video with tarot cards. I have been wanting to do a video with tarot cards for a while, as I have had this particular deck for many years, and then it was actually requested on Facebook that I do a video related to tarot cards. So, very excited about that. People seem to really love the sound of them, and I agree. This particular deck that I have is called the Medieval Scapini Tarot Deck, and the reason it's called that is because the artist that designed these particular cards, his name was Luigi Scapini, and so I guess the deck was just named after him. So I have the deck of cards themselves, and the box makes really great noises. There's something about that, like protected plastic or cardboard or whatever it is, paper, that I love. Even just lightly touching the top makes a great sound. So I have this deck. I have the cards themselves, and then I have a book called Tarot Made Easy, and I've always thought it was ironic that it's so big, considering that it's supposed to be made easy. But the reason why this particular book is so big is because it actually lays out in detail what every card means and what it means in each type of situation in your life that you might be going through or asking in reference to. So if your question is about money, there's a finance section or whatever, so it really is trying to make it easy. But I would like to lay some of the cards down just to hear the sound and organize them a bit, shuffle them a bit. I have considered doing a fortune teller roleplay, which I may do, but I will need to plan that one out a little bit more. Right now, I just want to play with the cards, read a bit from the book, and talk, and maybe do a reading for fun. Just, I don't claim to know much about the cards and their effectiveness. They do intrigue me, but I don't know that I can say I'm very educated on how to read the cards. It was told to me by a friend who is much more educated than I that your tarot deck is supposed to be bought for you. You're not supposed to go out and buy your own deck. I guess that's just some kind of like unwritten law or something. So when I said that I was interested in having a deck and learning a little bit about it, he purchased this for me, and so we could make sure that we started off on the right foot with my tarot experience. I haven't done enough research, although I have owned the cards for a while, and I understand for the most part like the suits of the cards and which ones are considered more powerful than others, but there is supposed to be very much an art to doing it, as far as the cards meaning different things if they're in certain positions, and if a card comes up to another card, comes up next to another card, it can be very telling, and I'm not educated on the associations between the cards. So like, if you were to lay out 3 cards like this, someone who is educated about this would know that maybe when these 2 cards come up next to each other, it means something completely different if this card wasn't here, or if it was reversed like this, it would have an entirely different meaning. So what I'm going to do is just read quickly from the book for anyone who is curious about tarot cards, has really no idea what they are or how they claim to work or anything like that. Simply put, tarot cards are a means of predicting events or receiving guidance in both our inner and outer world. Every tarot deck consists of 78 cards. Not all decks are alike, but all decks have 3 basic principles in common, even though the cards, symbols, and interpretations may vary. 1. Each deck is illustrated with symbols that depict experiences we've all had or could have at one time or another. 2. Each deck has 2 main sections, the major arcana and the minor arcana. The minor arcana is further divided into numbered cards, and what is commonly referred to as the court arcana. 3. Each deck contains 4 suits: wands, which can also be called batons, cups, swords, and pentacles, which can also be called coins, and in my particular deck, they are called coins. Traditionally, the major arcana depicts the greater events in our lives, while the minor and court arcana depict the more mundane, everyday aspects. No one is exactly sure how tarot cards originated, but it is widely believed that the ancient Egyptian masons developed them as a means of charting their important metaphysical and transformational discoveries. Think of them as stories conveyed in pictures. They have no inherent powers of their own, since tarot decks and books are chosen because you identify with them or they strike a chord with you. You empower them with your beliefs, attitudes, and personality, and by your level of growth or understanding at the time you choose them. Now, that is obviously open to interpretation, and very esoteric. So I am leaving that up to you to decide what you think. That is just the description in this book. And then the author of this book asks or poses the question, how do tarot cards work? And the author says, I can't tell you how they work, nor can I tell you how I walk, think, or digest food. I also can't explain why I know who's on the phone before I pick it up, or what causes ESP experiences. I know, however, that it happens, and that tarot cards do work. I believe there is a higher wisdom or universal truth that we can all tap into, and that there are many methods of accessing this information. One of the easiest ways, but by no means the only way, is through the tarot. Since our minds think in symbols, it's only logical that cards that can tell stories through symbols could enhance our intuition. And then the book goes into detail about the different symbols and what they mean, and the card associations, and then it goes into a section about tarot spreads, and the spreads are the different ways that they're laid out in certain orders that can help you determine your answer when you ask a question. So there are things like just using one card, one single card. There's a 3-card spread, a Celtic cross spread, a simplified Celtic cross, a zodiac spread. There's quite a few of them in here actually. So what you do is you pick which one you want to use, and then you flip to a section in the book, which is very large. It's basically the entire book, called Interpretation of the Cards. And in this part, you see a picture of what the card looks like, and then on the other side it has different categories like desire, romance, others, the home, travel, papers, work and career. So let's say you were to say, what will my love life be like this month? You flipped one card. It says the 6 of Swords. So if it was the 6 of Swords and you asked about romance, you would go to the romance section, and it would tell you what that card means when you're asking about romance. So that is why it is considered the tarot made easy, because you don't even have to really learn or think or interpret the cards on your own. You just ask a question and it tells you what it means. So I've read a little bit about the tarot, and some people say that you're supposed to shuffle it until you feel like it's the right time to stop, or if you're giving a reading, you shuffle it and then the other person tells you when to stop. It seems to me to be very much feeling or intuition based, which is very subject to interpretation and can vary so much. So let's just do one for fun. So I'll just shuffle the cards a bit, and I will still consider doing a fortune teller roleplay. I'm not sure if anybody else would remember it or not, but I actually have this crystal ball from a board game from when I was a kid called Ask Xandar, and it was a cheesy game, as they all were, but it was basically a crystal ball with a little wizard in it, and you would swipe your hand over the crystal ball, like you plugged it into the wall, and you'd swipe your hand over it and ask it a question, and it would make these like crashing lightning sounds, and then the little wizard would answer in the little wizard voice and tell you your fortune. I don't remember how the game worked, like how you won, or if it was just, I think it was just it was basically like a magic 8-ball of the 90s. So yeah, so I might use that as a prop for a future video before I throw it away. So let's just mess around with the cards a little bit, and I'll just do a quick, I don't know, sample. We'll see what the book says. So, not yesterday, but the day before, I put an offer on a house, and much to, of course, my luck, both the agent and the people selling the house are both on vacation until this weekend. So, of course, leaves the opportunity for more offers, and I really don't want to fight with anyone, but I already have made my offer, and they're supposed to consider it and get back to me this weekend. I think they're getting back tomorrow or Saturday. Today's Thursday. So I'm curious just to see. I'll pick this card. Say, what will be the outcome of whether or not I will get this house? And I got the 9 of Swords, which sounds really scary. So let's see what it says about that. Okay. So it says, you will experience anxiety over another who is away on business, and or an offer made will be rescinded or declined. Okay, that's actually legitimately freaky. Because I am experiencing anxiety over the fact that they are on vacation or away. I don't really know they're away. And or, and I have made an offer, will be rescinded or declined. Well, we can only hope that it's not the and part. Hopefully it's just the anxiety over the people that are away, and they'll accept it. So I'm running out of time, so I have to go, but I will see you guys soon, and feel free to keep sending requests over.